Hi everyone, and welcome to Club Ed again for lesson number 2 in our online guitar series for beginners, brought to you by Arts at the Palace Theater, Hamilton, New York. Today we're going to go over some simple tabs. I'm going to start with a simple classical piece by Beethoven. Later on in the lesson, we'll be doing some more chords, and we're going to try Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash. Okay, let's start with some tabs. Again, as you read these tabs, and they'll be posted at the end of the lesson, as well as during the lesson, the lowest string is represented by the lowest line as you look at it on the screen. The numbers on the lines indicate the fret of the string. And for now, whatever fret that is, we'll use that finger with the left hand, starting with the index fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to go through this slowly. Beethoven's Ode to Joy. Okay, later on in the lesson we'll be doing it in a higher octave. It'll go something like this. So on and so on. Okay, let's go back to the lower octave. It's going to start on the 4th string, 2nd fret. That's indicated by a 2 on the 4th line. Okay, so I'm starting out there with the 2nd fret of the 4th string with my 2nd finger. Play that twice. 3rd fret with my 3rd finger. 3rd string open twice. Back down to the 3rd fret of the 4th string, 2nd fret of the 4th string, open, 5th string twice at the 3rd fret, 4th string open, 4th string 2nd fret twice, 4th string open twice. Let me do that again slowly. Okay, so once we go through the higher octave, we'll be using every string on the guitar. Cool, how about that? Okay, now we're going to look at some new chords. The E chord, the A chord, and the B7 chord that we're going to use for Johnny Cash song. I hear the train a-comin', it's rollin' round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rollin' on down to San Antone. So each verse will use the same chord structure. Let's go over the chords first. The ubiquitous E These chords we can use in a million songs, maybe 1,000,003. All right, the E chord. Again, as we look at the diagram, it shows us where to put our fingers once we learn how to decipher it. The lowest string will be your string on the left, okay? And these are the frets. They go across this way. We put our fingers behind the frets. So I got first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth fret, so on. The numbers above those will show what finger to use. Okay, if there's an O over the string, I play it open without any fingers on it. If there's an X over the string, I just don't play it. Like some of these chords don't use all 6 strings. Like the A chord will do an X. It only uses 5 strings. Okay, the E chord. We're going to start by putting our second finger on the second fret of the 5th string. My third finger will sneak in behind it on the second fret of the 4th string. My first finger drops down on the 3rd string, 1st fret. So I've got it looking like that. The E chord. Now to switch to the A chord, I'm going to lift my first finger, pick up my second and third finger, move them over to the 4th and 3rd strings, 2nd fret. I will drop my little finger in behind them on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. You can see how arched my fingers are. The higher I get my fingers, the easier it is to press down on the strings. The A chord. I love that chord. So here's my E to A switch again. Back to E. You need very little movement to achieve this, but it's going to take you a while. Your fingers are going to be all over the place till they learn how to sit down. Just look at them and say, hey, if you jump up in the air, sit back down. I don't need you up there. There's no strings over there. Last I looked. Okay, the B7 chord. My second finger will be on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. My first finger comes down on the 4th string, 1st fret. My third finger will come down on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then I kick my elbow out so my little finger can drop on the 1st string, 2nd fret. So as I move from the E to the B7, I lift everything but my second finger and just move my elbow and my wrist out and let those drop down. Harder than it looks when you first start. You'll get the hang of it. So I got E to A, back to E, and then the B7. Now I was using what's called a bass strum with alternating bass. Again, when I play the E chord, I'll start with a simple, my thumb will play the lowest string, the bass note. Then my first finger will flick out and strum the other strings. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when I have to switch to the A, I'll play the 5th string first because I want to hear that first. While I'm doing that, my fingers are moving from the E chord to the A chord. It gives me just a little bit of time so I don't have to rush that switch. For some reason, our brains are wired so that when we start this, our right hand wants to wait for the left hand. And we have to train it not to do that. We want to play what we want to hear first. And the E and A chord, they're open strings. So I can play those immediately as soon as I'm done with one chord. In other words, if I'm switching from E to A. So my fingers are still up in the air. And then I'm putting them down as I'm playing that. Takes some getting used to. Once you get a little more advanced, you can do what I did earlier in the lesson, what's called an alternating bass strum. For the E chord, it would be the 6th string strum, 5th string strum, 6th string strum, 5th string strum. So it kind of sounds like 2 guitar players playing at the same time. Just go through it real slow. Start with just a simple bass. Start switching your chords easily, then you can start doing the alternating bass. 6 strum, 5 strum, so on, so on. For the A chord, it'll be the reverse. You'll start with the 5th string and go to the 6th string. Boom, 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 drum, bass, drum, back to the E, 6th drum, 5th drum, 6th drum, 5th drum. Then when you go to the B7, you'll start with the 5th string. Now the tricky part about this is you're going to have to lift your 2nd finger from where it is on the 5th string, set it down on the 2nd fret of the 6th string for your alternate bass. Put it back, move it back. So it's just hopping back and forth from the 5th string to the 6th string, back to the E. Well, that should keep you busy for a week. And again, the tabs and the chords for the song will be at the end of the lesson. You can do a screen capture and print them for your convenience. See you next week. Bye.